Is it too early to crack one open?
Now you're talking.
Never. And maybe even a couple.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
Now, live with Cooley and Kevin, it's John Riggins.
I'll start off by saying I'm bored, I'm broke, and I'm back.
On ESPN 98.
John Riggins is with us every Thursday for the 9 o'clock hour. He's usually with two people, yours truly and Chris Cooley. But Cooley's got, he's a big shot over in London, part of the broadcast team. They've got him, giving tours, I think, over there.
Where is little Lord Fauntleroy? Damn it.
It was Spencer Long after the snap, stepped on Kirk Cousins' foot.
Exactly.
That game on Sunday against Detroit was very much sort of a self-inflicted loss, right, Riggo? We'll get to that play in a moment.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Too many blown opportunities to put points on the board. They didn't. They lose. They're 4-3. They're in Cincinnati on Sunday. Riggo is part of the pregame show this year for the final hour and a half this weekend on Sunday. The pregame show starts at 6:30. You'll be in here at 8 a.m. For the pregame show. All right, that play in particular on Sunday. Spencer Long gets knocked back into Kirk Cousins. He's tripping, falling, and he tries to make the handoff to Matt Jones and fumbles. Cooley and I on Monday, we thought Matt Jones deserved some of the blame for it. You immediately texted us and said, nope. Brian Mitchell on his show said, nope, not on the running back at all. Explain why.
When you're getting ready to get the football, particularly in a situation like that, you're focusing on what's going on ahead of you. You're looking at your offensive line and the defense and what's going on there. You've practiced this play so many times in practice, it's automatic. You don't have time, nor should you be looking to see where the ball. You don't look the ball in like it is if you're catching a ball in the field. They tell you to look it into your hands, and a lot of guys at the last minute, for whatever reason, will glance away, and next thing you know, they drop the football. So it really becomes incumbent upon the quarterback to do the smart thing. If he's got complete control of the ball and thinks he can make a couple yards, fine. But the odds are, it's possible. Let's just assume that Matt Jones did everything that he's taught not to do, which is take his eyes off the defensive line where he's going, because he somehow senses there's something wrong there's going to be something wrong with the exchange. So he's got to look at the quarterback and the football to go ahead and take possession of it. Once that happens, the odds of him getting a first down, it can happen, but the odds aren't in your favor. It's got to go the way you rehearsed it during the weekend practice, the way it's always been. You expect the ball to be there at a certain time and in a certain place on your body. And if it's not there, it's like the train keeps on going. It don't slow down. You, though, as the guy that's handing it off, you've got to know that, and you've got to have the presence of mind to hang on to it, fall down, and come back and try it again on the next play or kick the ball or whatever, but you're not going to take a chance. And it was almost what I recall, and I can't remember 100%, where it seemed like Cousins, he almost had the ball in his opposite hand, just trying to throw the ball to Jones.
Well, he got it into his chest area, and it wasn't
which isn't where you're expecting the football. Right. And so my point here is and this is the thing about Cousins, is that he has a tendency every so often to try to make chicken salad. And he's just got to understand that there's no chicken salad to be made here, that this play is over with. I've got to do the smart thing and fall on the ball, and we'll get back up and we'll come back to the line of scrimmage, and we'll either punt or who knows, if it's a third down, maybe we'll go for it. Maybe we'll get another shot at it. I don't know. But Jones had nothing to do with that. Now he had, the one fumble where he fumbles it into the end zone. Clearly that's all on him. But this one, I don't think, you can kick him in the shins all you want, but not on this play.
When you fumble as a running back, is it hard to run the same way after a fumble because you're so aware of fumbling?
I'll never forget, years ago, it probably was the 78 season or 79. We went to Detroit, same place, ironically enough, but we were playing in the Silver Dome. I had 2 fumbles in that game, lost both of them. And I'm going to tell you something. You're almost shell-shocked after that because, hell, I'd been in the league for, 8, 9 years at that point.
Right.
And I'm second guessing everything you do. And what happens is you do have a tendency to run scared. And when I say run scared, it ain't the normal running scared, which is, you're just trying to get away from people. You run scared because you're afraid you're going to do something bad. And boy, that's a bad thing to have in your mind, because it's always that constant reminder. It does you absolutely no good. You've got to get back to where to play football. And I would imagine almost any professional sport, it's its highest level. You have to really get into a zone where you're just reacting to everything. There's no thinking going on, because once in anything you do, once you're in your head, you're pretty well screwed.
Did you get benched after those two fumbles?
No, I didn't actually.
Did you notice?
I think we won the game. Maybe we lost it, though. I can't remember.
Did you notice with Matt Jones after the fumbles that he ran differently?
No, I can't, because, I don't think they ran him that much. And I don't know, as I said, and I said it kind of jokingly when I was talking to Bram on Tuesday, I said, well, the guy they ought to call up is Tiki Barber, because Tiki Barber had a fumbling problem once upon a time, and they seem to have cured him of it somewhat. So I don't know exactly, where Jones is on this, but then I guess, was it McLuhan that's basically saying that he's really never been a full-time starter, even in college?
He hasn't.
So he's green, but, if he keeps this up, he's going to be damaged goods, I think, because all that potential that he has, he'll get in, and I think he can work his way through it, but there's also that risk that, if you change the way if you put him in his head where he's got to think about the football all the time, then he's not the same guy. But as I was saying that the other day, I'm thinking, well, that might not be a bad thing, actually. Maybe that would be a good thing for him to run with the idea that I have to protect the ball at all costs, because that will... The part that I think the knock on Matt Jones is that he likes to do a little shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Puff before he gets to the line of scrimmage, and he's always, a little fancy footwork. If you're running to protect the football, I think he would have a tendency to run more aggressively, and therefore, maybe he can kind of work his way through this instead of trying to always, because I think whenever you got a lot of space around you and you have the football,
right.
Anybody, at least I certainly was guilty of it. You can get careless with the football. Heck, there was times when basically we get down in the end zone, down close to the end zone, and I decide to bounce the ball outside. There's nobody out there but me. I just have it like the typical loaf of bread, carrying it in one hand.
You did.
But I almost always, invariably, always knew where to put the ball. I moved the ball around depending on where pressure was coming from. So if I'm going around the left end, you never saw me carrying the ball with my right arm. It was always in my left arm so I could protect the ball. I mean, that's just instinctive. I saw, Robert Kelly. He scores the other day. I saw him carrying the ball. He's exposing the ball to traffic. I'm going, you got to correct that. That's not good. There's a moment where a running back can move the ball around. I always used to do it. Joe would give me the ball, and I'd have it in both hands as I approached the line of scrimmage.
I was just going to say that you would have the ball in both hands in here, in like almost the chest area.
Correct.
And it was exposed. In traffic.
It was until I got into traffic.
Okay.
I mean, in other words, I had it. I was back there as I'm approaching the line of scrimmage, and pretty soon I'd know where's the pressure coming from. The ball would automatically go to the opposite side, so I could protect it.
Okay.
That's kind of the way I evolved as a running back, I guess. And Jones is somebody's got to sit down with him and just walk him through all this stuff and get him to where he feels comfortable. And comfortable may be the wrong word. Maybe he's too comfortable. Maybe you got to tighten him up a little bit. I'm not sure. But there's something, it's pretty incredible that, he's only in his second year and he's left the ball on the ground as many times as he has, and he's still got a job. Normally you wouldn't wait that long, but he is a third-round draft pick. Scott McLuhan isn't going to do, there's pressure from him on the coaches. Hey, he's my guy. You got to keep playing him. I got to believe. Because that embarrasses the guy that drafts him. The way it works.
All right, I want your answer on him when we come back. Would you sit him down and go to Rob Kelly? You'll answer that, plus get you to weigh in on Kirk Cousins wearing his wedding band during these games. And is Sunday a must-have win in London for the Redskins after the loss against Detroit? Riggo's in. Cooley's off. It's ESPN 980.
More Cooley and Kevin on ESPN 980.
All right, Riggo's here, as he is every Thursday for the 9 o'clock hour. Scott Van Pelt will be with us at 10:30. Cooley's off today. Tomorrow he will call in. He's got broadcast team responsibilities over in London, and he'll be on the call, obviously with Larry, Sonny, Doc, and him on Sunday from London in the game at Wembley against the Bengals. All right, what would you do with Matt Jones this week?
Oh, you got to play him. I mean, I think you got to get him back out there. I mean, if you think that he has a future here, and I think he does. I mean, I think it's stuff he can work through. I mean, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating though, because you keep waiting. But then again, look at the team. We're just talking about it. The way they lost that game was very much like the way they lost to Dallas, which was the second game of the season,
and the way that the Giants lost to the Redskins.
Exactly. So in other words, and that to me is a little bit alarming at this point in the season because you're damn near halfway through it. And you haven't, like, you hear me say, get up on step, as you like a boat where you're up and you're on top and now you're flying across the water. You're not laboring to get it up to that point. So from a team standpoint, you'd like to see where, they're clicking a lot better. Detroit was a team you should have and could have done that with. So they've taken a step back here mid-season. And Jones has, he's shown some flashes of pretty good football. He's also done some things you go, dang, what's going on with this? I think Robert Kelly is a kid that needs to play a little bit more. And I really think you're at a point now, particularly in this league, when you say, do you sit somebody down or I don't see that really from the running back. The running back is now, they're at the bottom of the food chain in the NFL. They make the least amount of money of anybody. I guess unless you're really super exceptional. You're down with the strong safeties and all this. And once upon a time, you was probably the second highest paid guy on the team. So to me, I don't think it's going to be, I don't think psychologically, I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of difference to Matt Jones if he doesn't start the game or if he does start the game. It's how many times you get to carry the football. And I think that they still got to keep giving Jones the ball. Now, if he lays it on the ground again, then you got to really start looking at it like, I don't know if this is going to work out.
It cost him the game Sunday.
Yeah, you can make that argument. And Robert Kelly, he's a more energetic runner. There's no doubt about that. I mean, when he runs, I mean, he's going into the line and you're getting all you got out of him. I think Matt Jones could do the same thing, but he chooses not to. And it kind of gets down to him. Is he going to pick up his play? And he has the ability to do that. It's all rests within him. But we haven't seen it. You haven't seen it on a consistent basis. You've seen it, but it's only been flashes.
Rigo is brought to us every week by McLean Mortgage. Is there a back, when you're watching the NFL, is there a back that just impresses you? Like, I've been curious as to what your thoughts are on Ezekiel Elliott.
You know what? I haven't watched him play enough, to be honest with you. I haven't really. I just, watched the burgundy and gold, and that's pretty much the size of it. But clearly, I mean, he's doing things that, of course, there's another running back down in Miami I have no idea about, but this kid they're talking about. Maybe
back-to-back 200-yard games.
Yeah, exactly. He's up there with Campbell and Simpson and somebody else. I can't think of who that is.
It was
the third player.
It was O.J. Campbell, and who was the third one that had back-to-back 200-yard games?
Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams.
I would have never guessed that.
So
twice.
I don't have an answer for you, Kevin. I'm sorry. I think that he's a good running back, but
were you a big Adrian Peterson fan?
He's good. Yeah, he definitely. He knows. Well, he did. He's injured now, right?
Yeah.
Is he done for the year?
He is.
Pretty good chance.